Hello, hello, hello. This is Marie Howell, and I am recording the very first episode of Speak Her Power podcast. And today is January 1st, 2026. And this has been in the works for a really long time. The name has changed. Some of the ideas have changed, and yet it has always been in my heart and actually written on my soul to speak. And yet I came from a generation that was encouraged to be seen and not heard, and really to be minimized in so many ways. And this is a declaration, a birth, and really excited to be here to share in this moment, especially on the first. This is clearly has so much meaning in society as we collectively move forward in the energy of the one, January 1st, and then this being a 1 year where this is a lot about momentum, action, realization. And so, like I said, I wanted to really open this conversation in 2025, and it wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready, and felt very much my work goes back to the birthing process and the rebirthing process and identity and owning the frequency of life, your frequency in life. And so I had to trust divine timing that this was meant to be and birthed whenever it came to fruition. And today's a special day. It's my wedding anniversary. I chose the January 1st because of the meaning, because of having a fresh start and using that circumstantial power to launch my life in a trajectory that felt meaningful for me back many, many years ago. And I know that it serves me well to use the energy, the cosmic energy, the collective energy, and want to bring more of that to you. So that's a little backstory about why January 1st. Speak Her Power is a little play on words for the speaker power, because the person with the speaker tends to have the energy of the room, tends to have that attention. And so as women in the collective era of the rebirth, the really owning ourselves, this is where the name came from. It's the Speak Her Power. And with that, what I want to bring forward is more of the women claiming themselves and ownership. And of course, there's always somebody who has to go first. And I have chosen myself as the representative to go first. And I am so happy and grateful to be here. I cannot say enough about what this means. And over time, if you continue to listen, stick with me, you'll see yourself in many of my stories. I am a child of the 60s and have grown through my family and just really encouraged and encouraging to put forth something meaningful in the world. So with that, typically I have a phrase that has come to me, and I've used it for quite some time, and it's just begin. So much of what we do in life is beginning. And so once again, today we're moving. We're taking the moment. And with that, here we are. So I'm going to take a breath, because that is definitely part of my work as well, honoring the cycles. We go in and out, be and do, presence. Okay. Why did I start this now? Because the energy of the roots and wings is a description I like to use, especially as a mother, as someone who uses the collective energies for the way to see life. And I see this grounded, rooted energy, and yet the wings and the movement is free and yet always has a home to come home to. So last year was so much, and not even just last year, but for so long, I knew in 2019 that something was happening because, entering that new decade in 2020, that I felt something would really mark time. And I had no idea about COVID, of course, and yet I trusted that to really take note of what was happening in my life and collectively, and really have for years and years marked time of this growth, this evolution and growth, and this grounded moving energy. And so that's why we're doing it now, because we've all been through this collective energy of shedding, of really hard things, of navigating technology that we didn't know how to do it, especially those of us from the older generation. We've navigated so many things that we never thought we would navigate, or certainly didn't know what it would look like. And now that we've been through it, it's like, oh, this is just the beginning. This is just the gate to the rest of it. And having someone who studies and is very interested in growth and evolving is really important. And so that's why 2026, it's like, this is the year. So another reason why now is that women weren't really ready for this before, I believe. I think that we were on one hand, but I think that collectively there's so much that of this old conditioning, this old patterning that really can bring us back to that stopping ourselves. And having support is really important, because as we are supported, we are encouraged to step out of our comfort zone. There's a safety net. There's a real strength in community. And I feel that being able to come to a place and being encouraged is a very powerful place to be, and supporting each other and telling a story that serves the highest good is important. And really, why is it happening now? It's divine timing. It's the energetics, as with any birth. It's that being in the gestational period. It's being in the birth canal. It's preparing everything. And for me, I wanted to have this devoted attention where I could come and be myself, and also be the highest version of myself. Whereas in the past, I had many masks. And if you're not familiar with the term masking, as someone who is neurodivergent, and like I said, a person who was born in the 60s, we learned to adapt, and adapting with mask of being like the good girl or the badass, the rebel, the person who really shouldered everything. And that's where have spent so many years really looking at these masks and saying, are they beneficial? Is this something that could help me? And of course, all masks are beneficial, right? Because the whole point is to psychologically we're designed to fit in, to be in the tribe, be in the collective. And now, as I shed my mask, I'm saying that I'm doing this from that empowered place of my people are out there, the ones that can see me without the mask, that can see me raw, real, vulnerable, and say, me too. And so that's where the podcast is here today. So thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. So this is not a hype podcast. It's not about fixing yourself. It's not about being louder just because we have the mic, right? It's about being grounded. I notice myself when I come from that grounded place, my voice is very deep. It's very, very solid, and I want to continue to bring that. I understand definitely that it raises when I get excited, and being mindful of that is really important for me. So what this is about remembering your voice, that I am an activator. I am someone who is encouraging without being judgmental or condescending in any way. I understand that we grow from love and attention, and you will see more of that. So it's also about regulating before responding, because so much of what we've been taught is to respond to it. It's that drama response, and through this unmasking, it's becoming regulated, and where I feel safe in my body, where I feel very grounded, and yet feel expansive enough to move my wings, to fly, to be free, and to bring that presence to the world. And it's also about choosing presence over performance. That's one thing that has really always been kind of a sticky point for me, because I really struggled with performance of being graded, and I believe obviously this comes back to being the neurodivergent, having this neurodivergent personality, and having to perform and feeling like I never lived up to whatever the measurements were. And through that, understanding that through my presence, through our presence, that's where the magic happens. And yes, we can perform and do hard things, and yet it can also be natural, because what we put more into, we get more out of, right? It's just that intention and the focus and what that looks like. So, and then another part of what you'll see here is clarity in how the world unfolds, how we unfold, how we show up in the world, and what that looks like, and come with clarity and conviction and compassion and passion. And really, you'll see more of me come out as you get to know me. And I'm very playful and fun and loving and inviting and welcoming and encouraging, and I'm excited to bring more of that energy to the world and give my husband a break. He gets to see me all the time, and I really feel that I'm ready to share myself in a way that empowers others. And I'm once again grateful to be here. So Another reason I brought the Speak Her Power to fruition is to really look at the leadership and what that looks like. And for me is what I no longer believe about power, and I really didn't believe this to begin with, and yet I was told it over and over and over again of the male leads and the female follows. And really, I believe that's more about energetics of the masculine being the energy, the doing, and the feminine is the being and the holding and the nurturing. And I believe that it's this beautiful dance is where the power is, and that we are able to explore life through this feminine and masculine energy, having this beautiful dance where we utilize the power and the masculine doing to get this done, right? To get something done, move it forward, and the feminine to say, I can hold all of this and I can nurture it and I can do it in a way where we are not being driven to just go, 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 but it's the go, rest, be, do, and express ourselves in a way that feels very soft and nurturing. So if you're listening to this, I have a black shirt on with a pink sweater neckerchief that is to really, like, that's my energy, is that I love the black, the bold, the really grounded presence, and I love the lightness of the pinks and the purples and the creams and the softer, the royalty colors, this beautiful, soft, powerful energy, and bringing that through my daily life and what I wear, and then also my actions is where you'll see this come through more. And what I believe and what I trust is that influence and income in the hands of women create meaningful impact. And so that's really one of my reasons also for, releasing the mask of protection, of staying small, of the good girl, and saying, listen, let's go, let's do this, because living a rich life in all areas is so important. And women have been taught to be small, to cut themselves down so that others can go first or be pleasant, all of this. And I'm saying you can be pleasant and do all the things and also be powerful and make that impact. And it requires resources. And as we come into our own knowledge, understanding, communities, that those resources are being amplified. And so you'll hear more about that too. And so many times we ask, how do we do something? How do we do something? I know for me that was always like how do I do it? How do I do it? Because I got so stuck on how other people were having success, and I didn't understand how that was possible whenever I knew that I was powerful. I knew that I had the resources. I hadn't always been surrounded by the knowledge or the people or the places, all of the things that really activate someone in a way that, once again, is nurturing. And I did have nurturing, like please don't take words, make these words different than what they are. I was very nurtured and I was very loved. I've always been very nurtured. I've always been very loved. And yet it was me fighting me because I didn't understand so much of this. So when I say this, I want to what I'm saying is to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to do this? Why does this matter to you, whatever it is, life in general? Why? Instead of like, how do I do it? Because the how will come when you're really clear on the why, on why you want to do this. This has been my dream for so long, and yet technology is finally at a place where I can do this with ease. And that's what for me felt important, because I had held so much hard stuff in the past. It was like, I want what I create for myself, ease and flow. Simple, easy, fun has been my mantra for years, because I understand how hard life is, and that we tend, especially as women, tend to make it harder because we're so used to climbing the hill, carrying all the stuff, doing the deed, that it's like, can it really be this easy? And it can, when you're resourced, when you're in that right space of knowing why you want to do something, and trusting that whatever is meant to be will come to you with ease and flow. And so, want to encourage that. So, yes, going back to the feminine and the masculine energy, methodologies can help create momentum. That how energy, like how it's done, can help create momentum, but it's the reason you're doing it that will keep you coming back over and over and over again. So let me take a breath. And lastly, it's about what you want to contribute to society, to your life, to whatever project that you're undertaking, whether it be family, whether it be something in your community, whether it be whatever it is, whatever it looks like to you. But we live more fulfilled when we have a purpose, when we're fulfilling a purpose in life. And it can be simple. What I really want to encourage is for it to be clear what your purpose is, and own it. Own it like a boss, like a badass, like like a CEO of your life, where you claim your purpose. And for me has always been to be a contributing part of society through love, through lifting energies, so that there's less darkness in the world, that there's more of this light and beauty, and owning whatever it is that I desire, whatever it is that you desire, and coming and sharing that. So, lastly, let Speak Her Power be a place that you return to when you want to talk about impact, when you want to talk about regulation, voice, leadership, and legacy. It's always going to be from the inside out. It's going to be from that grounded presence of ownership of self. And it's going to be with love. So with that, thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul, from the tip of my tongue. I love you. Thank you. And I will see you next time.